bad there. 83.
This is WeatherScope.
Well, you can expect a rainy morning commute across much of the Northeast as soaking rains move your way. Hi, I'm Christina Abernathy. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Mike Seidel here at the Weather Channel. On the West Coast, you've had a very hot Sunday, good beach weather in Los Angeles. But we'll begin this edition of WeatherScope with the flooding rains which have plagued those of you in Florida all weekend. The Sunshine State looking unlike the Sunshine State should. Tropical moisture continues to flow across the Florida Keys and into the southern part of the peninsula this evening. This is Long Key, where heavy rain was falling on Highway 1 earlier in the day. It may have slowed traffic, but it didn't seem to affect the Sunday afternoon fishing trip. Skies cleared over Tampa today, a much better weather day, but there's still plenty of standing water. Heavy rains that began on Friday caused flooding that forced people from their homes. Some of them ventured back into their houses today to begin the tough job of cleaning up. 14 inches of rain at Pinellas Park, about 10 at the Tampa International Airport. So very wet weekend. Let's talk about what's going on. We have three systems to discuss in the next couple minutes. Still that flow of tropical moisture in Florida, the storm which really instigated all the rain in Florida, and pretty vivacious cold front which is whipping east and will eventually clear everything for most of you out of the way, and the sunshine will come back. What a deal. Let's start off in Florida. We'll show you the radar in just a moment. First, you can see how the moisture is still feeding up through the Florida Keys and the extreme southeastern and southern part of the state. And most of the rain today has been relegated to this area. You've had about an inch or so around Miami and Fort Lauderdale and down towards Homestead, a little bit less in Key West. Now on radar, you can see where all the rain is located through the Florida Everglades, right up into Dade County, Miami, Hialeah, over towards all the Miami Lakes area and over towards North Miami Beach, and almost up towards Dania and Hollywood. And some of this rain may scoot into Broward County around Fort Lauderdale over the next couple of hours, but you can see it's doing what we call training in meteorology. It's moving over the same area, not moving off to the south and east. So these are favored areas for more heavy rainfalls, but again, you only picked up about a half an inch of rain, if that, in many of these areas yesterday, so you can handle the rain, unlike your neighbors to the north and west, which had to deal with a foot of rainfall. The storm which brought that rain in Florida is now whipping up the northeastern coast. It's a wet Sunday night for those of you in D.C. and Gaithersburg and Bethesda, but this is moving very, very quickly, and we should be able to get most of the rain out of the way before the morning commute in D.C. and Baltimore. And this cold front is blasting on through, and that will help to move things along very nicely, so the sunshine will return in the mid-Atlantic, certainly by late morning. You can see the heavier rain from the Mountain State into Pittsburgh, up towards Altoona, Johnstown, into State College. Lighter rain showers or just general light rain moving into the New York City area. So you're not going to get a whole lot of rain here. Most of it will be relegated back into this area. And again, it will move out very quickly. You can see the rotation here with our storm. A few showers out there around Boone and the Appalachian State area. Won't be long before you'll be skiing in those areas. Showers into West Virginia, but all is looking better. The weather is looking better across most of South Carolina and Georgia after a very sun-free weekend. Here's that cold front whipping along. Look how fast it's moving. It's being pushed by a very strong wind. Winds have been gusting out through the plains, 50, 55 miles an hour. So this will whip on through, clear out your skies, but because of what's going to be happening in the upper levels of the atmosphere tomorrow, don't expect a whole lot of sunshine in Chicago. We'll talk about that more coming up in the forecast. But first, we want to talk about the wind and all the hot weather in Los Angeles and the Southwest. For that, we check in with Christina.
Well, you've had record-setting heat on the West Coast today, and you're getting blown away in the northern plains. Let's take a look at what's involved with all of this windy weather in this part of the world. We've got an area of high pressure, an area of low pressure, and a tight pressure gradient between the two, and that's producing some windy conditions today through the northern plains, but we are going to see a bit of a shift in that. Monday, you'll see that wind moving on into the upper Midwest, so look out. Wind certainly howling. As a matter of fact, winds over 50 miles per hour are possible here through the Dakotas and on into western Minnesota. And again, it's because of that area of high pressure and the area of low pressure to the north, and that has resulted in winds already gusting up to 50 miles per hour. Now, generally 20, 30, 40 mile per hour wind gusts on through Montana and into North Dakota. And again, eventually we are going to see those windy conditions shifting on to the east. So look out on into the upper Midwest and maybe into the Great Lakes region tomorrow. A very windy day in store. So we've got our area of low pressure, that's to the north in Canada, an area of high pressure here, a clockwise flow around our area of high pressure, counterclockwise around our area of low pressure, and you notice how close together our isobars, or our lines of equal pressure, are. When we see those isobars close together like that, that indicates to us that we're dealing with a lot of wind, and that's indeed what is happening here. Again, right now through Montana into North Dakota, eventually pushing on eastward. Very, very windy conditions. But across the rest of the West, things really pretty quiet. Not much rain today. A little bit here into northwestern portions of Washington, and you may see some more wet weather as another system moves in. But for the most part, a quiet day. A very hot day, though, in the Southwest. LA up to 96. 102 in Phoenix, 90 your high in San Francisco, and we did have some record highs today. Oakland, 95, and on into Moffett Field, 94, a record high for you. Right now, still quite warm, 91 in LA, still 82 in San Francisco. What about our forecast, Mike?
Okay, Christina, and the heat will continue in the Southwest and Los Angeles on Monday. So if you got Monday off and you're thinking